The opinions expressed in this show belong to the person expressing them. They do not purport to reflect the opinions or views of Rancher or any other entity.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Coffee and Cloud Native. My name's Guy Who Can't Find the Button. Button! Oh, button! My name is Adrian Goins, and I'm jazzed up to be here with you today. The purpose of this show is to share with you news and interesting content related to Kubernetes and Cloud Native and lots of other things, and to build a community of people who are interested in using technology to live a better life. If you're watching live, consider following or subscribing to the channel. If you're watching in the future, please give the video a thumbs up so the YouTube algorithm shares it with other people. Join the free community site and the Discord server. Links to that are in the video description and scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Live chat happens in Discord with a bot that relays between YouTube and Twitch, so if you're watching on one of those other ones, come hang out with us either during the show or after. The live chat is just absolutely crazy. So let's take a minute and say hello to people that we have here today. Oh my gosh. The gifts are going crazy. Good morning, WifeBot. Nice to see you in the room next door. We got Nuno, Mac, RestreamBot, Clint, James P, Madam Lori, welcome. Madam Lori watches on YouTube, and I invited her to join us on Discord, and it's nice to see that you did. James P. I saw Ian in here somewhere, didn't I? Thought I did. This is the part where it's like scrolling past all the gifts to talk to, hey, Ariel, Peter Keach. Okay, I think I'm gonna code Trufflebot. Clint, good morning. I'm gonna code Trufflebot to like keep track of who's here in the morning, so it just spits me out a list and I don't have to like scroll past the madness of the GIF wars. Oh, watching from YouTube, we've got Lee and Celso. Awesome. Hello, hello, hello everybody. Yeah, so, what is today? Today's Friday. Every Friday, if we get 50 people watching between YouTube and Twitch, then I give away a Udemy course to someone in the live chat channel on Discord. This week, we are again giving away the page that I don't have loaded. Whoop, that's not what we're giving away. Adrian's so totally prepared for his own show. Today... Yo, you know what? Okay, well, this is what we're giving away today. I meant to go and look at the poll and see if we were supposed to give away something else, but I didn't, and since I've already shown this, whatever. We're giving away the complete traffic training course again, which is what we've been giving away for the last few shows, and I see that more people are taking it, and it's still got a very high rating. This is endorsed by Traffic. It was built by Brian Christner, and, well, yeah, you have an opportunity to win. So all we need to do is get 50 people between... Who posted that? Mac. We just need to get 50 people watching between Twitch and YouTube. That'll trigger a giveaway. I'll start it up, and then somebody will win. So if you know people, get them to watch. Mac just said, have you noticed how much Udemy sounds like you dummy? It's actually, I think it's you to me, because it's people teaching other people the things that they know. I used to say Udemy, which actually would sound more like you dummy. Anyway, hey Danny. Thanks for rolling in. What do we got going on today? We have no news today, so that means that we can just move right into... So the collector bots have gathered candidates for the show, and Trufflebot has scored them from 1 to 5 coffees, corresponding to a 75 to 100% probability of being interesting content. Probability is interesting. He'll post them one at a time to the A/B test channel on Discord, and I'll load them up. Anyone who's watching can rate them in Discord, and then the final scores are shown when we move to the next item. The total rating for all items on the show is used to rate the show itself, so I know if I'm doing a good job. And in the future, these votes will be used to refine the machine learning model. So let's jump over to... Oh, I gotta get out of this gift channel. You crazy, crazy, crazy people. First up today... Oops. First up today, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. First up today, I don't know if I've had this on the show before. I don't think I did, but if I did, who cares? And now everybody on the internet knows my email address. This is just a big list of Kubernetes tools. Can I make this bigger? No, I'm not trying to open the insert menu. I'm trying to make it bigger. Okay, well, it's not going to be... I love when... Oh my gosh, that's totally not what I wanted to do either. I love when companies hijack browser shortcuts. Like Command Plus universally is make it bigger. But no, in Google Docs, it means open the insert menu. Or the other one that really irks me is GitHub. In Firefox, you know, if you're a VI person, you're used to hitting / for search. And in Firefox, you can hit / and it'll open up the search bar at the bottom. But not in GitHub, where it takes you to the global search bar, because I totally want to search all of GitHub. Anyway, here's a list of cool tools for Kubernetes that has basically everything in really, really tiny font. And it's one of those things that you can contribute to. I also like looking at these because I know people come in and they're like, I'm going to make my tool in red. I'm going to make my tool in a giant font. So there's lots of stuff in here. If you want to go down a rabbit hole because it's Friday and you don't actually want to do your work, Kubernetes icons? Oh, that's cool. A set of Kubernetes architecture diagram icons for presentations. A lot of this stuff we've had on the show, kubectl neat, I use that all the time. Yeah, so stuff under security. Starboard, Tricky, Aqua's been here. Powerful Seal. I like Powerful Seal. It's actually a chaos engineering tool, but it makes it sounds like, you know, Powerful Horcrux, or it's, I don't know. I spend too much time with Harry Potter. So there you go. Fun list of tools to get you through your Friday. You can take stuff like that and you can just like randomly grab something and then you're like, oh, I learned something new today. We have some stuff on today that's a little bit more random, but I thought it might still be cool. You know, a big theme of the show that I actually don't touch on other than the brain dump or just saying it at the end of the show, but it's about learning. It's so fundamentally important that we are always learning, always challenging ourselves, always trying to figure out new things, always getting frustrated, always overcoming frustration, because that's how our brains stay young. So I saw this. It's from the Welsh Azure User Group, and it's their Cloud Skills Challenge. And I didn't go and join it, but you know, you've got like the season of serverless going on. Well, this is another thing where they have 15 challenges related to cloud skills that you can join and participate in. So if you're looking for, you know, if serverless isn't your thing and you're looking for something that's a progressive series of educational opportunities, I like the word challenges because it implies that it's like, it's a thing that you get to overcome, and that's great. There you go. Hooray. Moving on. All right, so this is clearly promotional Oh, come on. This is clearly promotional content from New Vector. But if we just ignore that, there's some good information here. Oh, it's a little old. It's from October. There's still good information here. They have a bunch of questions here, 13 questions, that it's worth just asking yourself or asking your department about your infrastructure. They're really good questions. Do you have visibility into the Kubernetes pods being deployed? For example, how the application pods or clusters are communicating with each other? Yes or no? If no, figure it out. Do you have a way to detect bad behavior in east-west traffic between containers? Yes or no? You don't necessarily need to have all of these things, but if nothing else, they're engaging questions that make an individual possibly think, oh, interesting. How would you know if an attacker gained a foothold into your containers, pods, or hosts? Would you? If no, figure it out. There are lots and lots of tools and lots of solutions and lots of things. Mac was playing with logging today, and he can tell you about that if you have questions about it. Ha! Throwing Mac in front of the community. There are lots of things that you can do and use and figure out that are open source solutions that will help you answer these questions. Let's just pick another random one. When you have compliance policies, how do you enforce compliance at runtime? How do you? Policy, perhaps? Another way? I'd also be interested if any of you have solutions for any of these items. Just grab a random item and post something in the community side about how you deal with this. How do you... Oh, here's a great one. Number 10. Do you have a checklist for locking down Kubernetes services, access controls, and container hosts? Yes or no? Now, I interpret that in one of two ways. Well, I interpret that in two ways. One, do you have a checklist that you follow when you're deploying infrastructure that allows you to know that you've done all of the things? And that can be automated, infrastructure as code, but it needs to follow a checklist. Two, do you have a run book for responding to a security event? If you were to discover right now that your stuff got owned, do you know what to do? In the heat of the moment, we're terrible at just figuring this stuff out. So while nothing's going on, make a checklist. Execute your checklist. Make sure that you know how to quarantine things, how to shut them down, what your response is, so that, God forbid, if something should happen, you just execute the checklist and you're good to go. So here's a great bunch of stuff. Of course, NuVector wants you to buy their solution or use their solution. They have a white paper ebook thing that you can download. That's still free. You just got to give up your email address. It's got more information in it. Nothing wrong with that. Companies got to make money. Regardless, great stuff. Somebody just said my name. Say my name. Oh gosh, we're at 50 already? Oh, wow. Okay, well, let's kick off a giveaway. Dun dun dun. Stand by. It's the Death Star. Stand by. Stand by. Okay. Whoops. Make sure this is working. I got how many minutes? It's 9:42. We'll run this until 9:55, so we've got 13 minutes. There you go. WifeBot, please pin that for me. So there's now a giveaway running in the live chat channel. If you would like the opportunity to win the complete traffic training course from Brian Christner, just head over to the live chat channel in Discord. There's something right over there. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Come back. It's right here. Here it is. That'll get you into the Discord server. And just click the little thing, say you want to win, and in 13 minutes, Ellibot will pick a winner. Woohoo! It's important when people say my name. Like, oh, wow, we got a giveaway. Okay. Next up. Oh, yeah, this one. When I'm going through the stuff that the collector bots pick and that make it through the model, not all of it makes it on the show. And some of it I look at it and I'm like, why? Like, why did this show up in the ML model? There's actually some really cool stuff in here. Of course, reInvent is going on for the next 12 years. And, okay, so generally when I see something ops, I just ignore it. I'm like, data ops, ML ops, mom ops. Like, it just don't, anyway. Let's just throw the data ops thing out of this. And let's look at what they're talking about. Amazon is embedding machine learning workflows directly into the source of data. Initially, I was like, who cares? It's another Amazon service. Woohoo! But they have a picture down here that actually helped me understand this. Sorry, that's not that picture. This picture here. Can you see that? You can kind of see that. Basically, what they're doing is they're embedding machine learning logic, or they're attaching other things like, what is this? SageMaker is their new thing that does this, that are automatically monitoring your data and developing an understanding of relationships between the things. They're then automatically generating, so they're basically doing automatic model generation and training on your data sets, and then making those models available to you as a SQL query. First thought, holy cow, privacy, terrifying, oh my gosh, Amazon's monitoring my stuff. Once I got past that, this picture helped me understand, okay, if I have a lot of data about customers and what they're buying and credit cards and things like that, they want to show or automatically detect fraudulent behavior, for example. That's a really great use of this. Machine learning is so powerful. Bringing the power of machine learning down to places that aren't necessarily going to learn it themselves. If you have an e-commerce site, while you may think machine learning is cool, you probably are more focused on building your business than investing money in hiring a data scientist to analyze your stuff. So Amazon's just like, okay, cool, here you go. Woo! benefit from it, pay us a little bit for the service. I think it's pretty neat. As I look at all of the content that shows up between, I see 0 for Google. I don't know why that is, but a lot of stuff comes up that's between either Amazon or Azure. And it's, while Amazon started out with AWS as let's take open source stuff and make it available as a service, they're now doing a really good job of wiring all these things together with new stuff that accelerates application development or application delivery or infrastructure stuff. It's just ridiculous to me the amount of things that you can do in an Amazon environment. But Azure is also moving really fast and seems to me to be more focused on enterprise-y type stuff. Where Microsoft used to be all Windows, I see so much of Azure now that's like Windows-y feeling functionality in cloud-native Kubernetes land. Yesterday, actually, I guess the tweet will go out today. There's something about how you can attach Azure Active Directory policies directly to pods like you would do with a service account in Kubernetes. So it's like they're extending it in this enterprise-y way, whereas Amazon feels more like they're extending it in a application delivery to the audience way. It's interesting as they solidify the terrain that they hold in the great cloud wars. So I thought that was super cool with the stuff that they're doing. Moving on. Everybody knows the SUSE Rancher acquisition completed. And if any of you are interested in what? I know a lot of you already know about Rancher. Some of you know about SUSE. But if you're interested in hearing about what SUSE plans to do with Rancher and hear from companies who are using Rancher and possibly even companies who are using SUSE, I'm not sure about that. This is the first webinar that's combined with SUSE, Rancher, and customers. And so if you have any questions about what the plans are, you can attend this and learn and ask questions. And honestly, the bots found that yesterday. Like, I think it's really funny when the bots find Rancher things and tell me about them. And so, yeah, if it was somebody else, I would still talk about it. Next. A few weeks ago, and it was actually on the show, there was a bunch of chitter-chatter about how a U2 spy plane, a U2 reconnaissance plane, now has Kubernetes running on it, and they were able to do a real-time update of stuff in the plane while it was flying. It looks like they've embedded some systems inside of there, and I suspect that they're using Kubernetes for image classification and mission updates in real time as the pilots are flying around looking at stuff. They're like, oh, okay, this fits the category of what we're looking for, spend more time over there. Or maybe even not directing the pilot, but just controlling the systems themselves, because the cameras on a U2 can see like bigger than I can open my arms. But a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, that's so terrible, or oh my gosh, that's such a waste of resources, or oh my gosh, let's try and hack that. Here we have an event coming up where somebody took all of the questions and said, well, why don't we just go get a bunch of DoD people on the phone? And they did. So we have a lot of people here from U.S. Air Force, StackRox, Phobos Group, and Splunk. Okay. Interesting. Random. Definitely not running Splunk on a U2. But if you want to hear more about that project and how the Department of Defense is using Kubernetes, this is coming up in 4 days. I heard my name again. Mac. Point for Mac. Mac says, wow, it's Kubernetes in the cloud. Get it? Because it's in a plane in the clouds? Okay. Good job. What's next? Oh, okay. I thought this was fun. Once again, if you're looking for something to do because it's Friday and you don't want to do your work, which is totally okay. Totally fine. This is a seminar on hacking vehicles. Not hacking in the sense of like breaking them to them or whatever, But vehicles today are run by computers, and they've got that crazy interfacey thing that dudes like plug the weird computer thing into that's under your steering column. That allows them to talk to the computer. Well, that's an open interface, and you can buy the modules for that, and you actually can run your own tests and experimentations and stuff. I mean, be careful. You don't want to break your car. So there was a seminar at a place called Remoticon that was basically teaching you how to use these tool sets called CAN bus and CAN utils to interface with the onboard diagnostics port of your vehicle. And it includes a virtual console, and it looks like they're using like an Xbox controller. Yeah, I think they're using an Xbox controller, which is pretty funny. So this looked super interesting if you want to know like what happens on the other side of that port. My most recent experience with that port was when I went in to get a key copied for my SUV, because it only came with one key, and the key has a chip on it that is required. Like you can clone the key, but you put it in the ignition and it doesn't do anything. And we couldn't get another key. So this guy at the key store, like I paid him a bunch of money, and he pulled out this little magic box from the back closet, and he sat in my car for 15 minutes, and he was able to basically brute force the signal, whatever it was, the code that is supposed to be in that chip that it's supposed to broadcast, and was able to make me a new key for my SUV. 100% means that anybody else could sit in my car and also make a key and steal my car. But I was just amazed. It's like, I'm a super nerd. This is really cool. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff that you can learn here. Super nerd. Foundation DB. Foundation DB. We're gonna run around this really quick here. Foundation DB. I have to open up a new tab for this because it's not directly linked. Foundation DB. Do you remember when I had a thing on that said that Apple's going to start doing more stuff with Kubernetes? Like whatever, it was after KubeCon or during KubeCon. So Foundation DB is it gives you the power of ACID transactions in a distributed database. ACID transactions are, if you have a distributed database, you have lots of things responsible for different pieces of the transaction, and ACID compliance makes sure that all of the pieces are lined up before everybody, get my hands on the screen here, before everybody commits the transaction. So when you have a distributed database, it's like the whole layer of communication that happens before that is a challenge. Foundation DB is from Apple and is designed to do that. Now you go to their documentation and it's like, oh, here's how you deploy it on an Apple product. So my first look was like, well, okay, if Foundation DB is an Apple product, what the heck are we looking at here? What we're looking at here is that there's now an operator for deploying Foundation DB in Kubernetes. Well, Kubernetes doesn't natively run on macOS, so that means that this actually runs on Linux. So you can now use Foundation DB in your Kubernetes clusters on Linux systems, and there's an operator for them. Somebody just messaged me on Slack. I will ignore them. Part of me is wondering, like, is somebody from work watching the show? Did they just tell me something? If so, they should be in Discord. It's back. Hi, everyone. My ISP sucks. Actually, they don't suck. I don't know what they did. They were gone for a minute. Are we back? Somebody has to tell me, are we back? I don't know. Okay, we're back. We're back. Good. Yay. Okay, so continuing. Oh, somebody probably won the giveaway. WifeBot. Check that out. Here we go. So this is from Aqua. Evaluating and enforcing least privilege in Kubernetes. Now, this is a paid solution, but I still thought that it was interesting for a couple of reasons. One, Aqua does a lot of stuff that's open source, and, well, they do a lot of stuff that's open source. We tend to see things trickle down from Aqua's paid stuff into open source stuff. They have a new partnership with a company called A Policy, And I think this is valuable. This will review the security posture of your Kubernetes cluster in relation to the role-based access control configuration. So it starts out by looking for overprivileged service accounts and then helping you drill down into securing them. They give the example here because the idea is you want the rule of least privilege. Let everybody access only the things they need to access and nothing more than that. If you had to analyze each role, they say that in our brand new cluster there were 54 different roles, but by focusing on overprivileged ones or overly permissive, they were able to break that down to 6 and then fix it. So this is available in Aqua, and it's called the Kubernetes Security Posture Management. Oh, Nuno had to go. Bye, Nuno. Okay. So it's the top of the hour. So let's finish this. Once again, we had an average rating of 4 coffees. That's fantastic. And first of all, who won? Did somebody win? We have a winner. We've got a winner. We've got a winner. Wojtek! Awesome! Congratulations, Wojtek. I will connect with you after the show to talk to you about where to send the course. Sweet. Congrats. And now that takes us to the final segment of the day. I don't know what it is yet. Actually, I do know what it is. I talk about this universal unconscious of the internet. And today, Saeem sent me a message. Well, you sent all of us a message in Discord about something that Mirantis had just released for OpenStack. And I said that I couldn't put it on the show because it was entirely for Mirantis's paid solution. And I feel a little bit hypocritical because I just talked about Aqua's paid solution. But I looked at it and I decided not to put it on the show because, whatever. However, today's tool of the day, as many of you have already loaded up, is almost the same thing. Not quite. Mirantis' thing is that you can now deploy OpenStack in Kubernetes if you are using what used to be called Docker Enterprise Edition, and I don't know what they call it now. This is Kubernetes as a service for OpenStack. The documentation sucks. There's basically none of it. But you need a Kubernetes seed cluster and an OpenStack environment. It is 100% API compatible with OpenStack, and it will deploy, from what I can understand, since their docs are basically empty. It looks like their documentation site, oh wow, that's 3 years old. Okay, they haven't updated their docs in a while. This is, however, on a current release from yesterday, so 1.0.0. Look for documentation on it, and it will allow you to use a Kubernetes seed cluster and an OpenStack environment to deploy Kubernetes clusters, basically Kubernetes as a service within your environment. Given the choice between, do I want to run Kubernetes on OpenStack or do I want to run OpenStack on Kubernetes? While the second one is interesting, I think the first one makes a lot more sense. Because to run OpenStack on Kubernetes, you have to have infrastructure, Kubernetes, and then what? It's running libvirt, kubevert VMs or something to do OpenStack? I don't know. Versus so it's multiple layers of virtualization versus the other, which is OpenStack is your systems layer and then Kubernetes on top of that. But since I don't use OpenStack, never used OpenStack, I might just be talking out the side of my neck. And if so, I apologize to all you OpenStack people. That's our tool of the day. Did I even have this on the whole time? Or was it just me talking? I don't know. I lost internet. Okay. Well, if I didn't have this shown the entire time I was talking about the tool of the day, I apologize. Otherwise, there you go. Look, it's a browser page. If you were in Discord, you would have seen the link, and you could have gone and looked at it. We got to get out of here. It's late. I'm a mess. For some reason, the internet is directly tied to my soul. And so when the internet goes away, it's like somebody just ripped out my soul and then put it back. Takes a minute to wake back up. Okay, so there you go. What are we doing? We're leaving. We're leaving. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry about the internet. Links to everything that I talk about on the show go up in the community site at community.cncn.io after the show ends. Come join us. Community members get early access to the links, video replay, and other exclusive content. It's free to join. The community is growing every day. If you have something you would like for me to consider for the show, post it in the community site, mention me in the post, or you can also just ping me on Discord or Twitter like Saeem did this morning. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great Friday. Congratulations, Wojtek. Keep learning, and I will see you in the next show. Stay caffeinated.